All right, today is the 19th day of June 2025. Thursday morning, and Mirth Mission 6 officially begins tomorrow. And what we are trying to do is get our story straight.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how you and I enjoy so much experience together, obviously, that it's easy for us to track one another across vast expanses of time, so to speak. It's like we've been tracking the same story for a long time together.
Yep.
And the present challenge, one of the most pressing challenges, is to draw others into the story. And so laying down tracks, laying down threads that are easy for people to follow.
Yeah.
And Sean has taught us to do like systems of three. There's the three Crawford built entities. So there's the philanthropic arm, the Crawford built foundation. The focus for this mission, the philanthropic focus for this mission this weekend has to do with the care of my mom and dad.
Yeah.
So there's some things going on there to support them. Around the second construct is the Crawford built properties. So they've got property. They're living in a house, and there's things going on around there. And the maintenance and improvement of that property fits into that part of the construct. And then the third is the adventure company, so Crawford Built Adventures, which is the immersive experiential.
So there's a lot to immerse in.
So, and that we talked about the other day a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot to immerse in. We talked about that, and we talked about the thematic material. So the thematic material, the textual thematic material for the June instance, this one coming up, Mirth Mission 6, 6th month, 6th mission, Mirth Mission 6, the textual reference is
the bird one.
Yeah, what the robin knows. So the theme, one of the main themes, is nesting. So there's going to be a bunch of nest-focused activities in the field of Mirth in this mission sequence over the course of the next 4 days. I want to say, I think, a couple more things, and then I would love to hear your kind of thoughts on that present theme, as well as activities for Mirth Mission 7 coming up on the 4th of July weekend.
Right.
So the one of the really fun things working with you is you understand narrative construction really well. Like you're a strong literary agent. So the narrative arc, the meaning in this moment to some extent depends upon how meaningful what it is that we're doing right here and now is to all of the other scenes, all of the vignettes across the entire narrative arc, and you can see that as an arc of time as well. So being explicit about how what we're doing in Mission 6 enhances the experience of Mission 7, enhances, you talked a little bit about the seasonal construct, so it's easy to track the seasons. So thinking ahead to the 2026 series, the things that we do today are investments to some extent in the depth of meaning afforded in the next season, next month of the next year. You get the picture, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, do you have a sowing seeds month? Something around agriculture?
I do. I would try to keep it constrained to the...
Yeah, I'm not talking about anytime soon. I'm just curious because it makes me think, setting seed. I mean, I think you can be doing that always, whatever you're doing, at least narratively.
Sowing seeds.
Yeah, not literally.
Yeah, what do birds do with seeds?
Just hide them. Well, chipmunks hide nuts. Squirrels and stuff. I don't know if birds do.
What do birds do with them, though?
Yeah, they just eat them.
Poop them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So birds kind of spread the seed.
Yeah. Yeah. They go to where the food is plentiful. Usually. Or they're good enough to find it, even when it's scarce.
So you have any thoughts on helping keeping the story straight and being able to share the story, our story, in a way that draws others into it? In the context of what it is that we're doing today, this weekend, next session.
From my own perspective, the story right now is a lot about the tools that we have to work with, whether it's the quality of them in general or the proficiency that I have with them. So a lot of what I'm going to be doing, not just for the Mirth missions, but in between them, is learning how to. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure, I'm willing to bet that I'm just going to get daily practice doing essentially what the steps are to build the shed. And when I'm not doing that, I'm going to be trying to work on the vehicles. So.
Yeah, okay, so you're reminding me we were going to talk about the different roles. So again, another system of three. So focusing on the Crawford Built Properties entity, so that people understand, one of the things that you're doing is that you're entering into an apprenticeship this summer. You're working essentially as entry-level labor in a formal construction crew.
Yep.
And then between you and I, you are the principal, so you're at the other end of the management spectrum.
Sure.
Like you're the Crawford Built Properties, it's like you're the boss.
Right.
So then in the mission sequences this weekend and in July of this year, we talked about you playing that middle piece as well, where you're the foreman on site, basically guiding the activities of others. So can you talk a little bit about that? So if we think about the nesting, so the nesting means a lot to you and me because we know particular locations on the dirt where we already have projects going.
Yeah. So I think a lot of having people kind of steering, so you can think of it as, a lot of it does have to do with, like I said, the world building. What is the story? What's the specific goal? I think having an endpoint. So picking, as far as individual instances, when we have people for like 4th of July or whatever other date, I think we can set I think the more we set a hard target of what to accomplish, like what's going to be on the other side, whatever the activity is, the more fun we can have structuring the number of hours or days or minutes that we have to use to get there.
Yeah, so I think that's really, really key because of, when people see visible progress towards a specified goal, like it's enormously powerful.
Picking a good goal is also a really good, important
so
skill.
So to be clear here, you and I have already picked certain goals.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is inviting others to participate in this larger story. So the invitation is to come participate in the build of a world that has a long narrative arc and enriches the participants through their process of participation. So I want to call out a few specific names of projects that are going to be meaningful to you and me, and then you get to muse. I would love for you to muse a little bit on specific achievable goals that you and I
Yeah.
are hoping to achieve in this season of the Mirth Mission construct,
Totally.
summer of
Yeah.
2025. So
Okay.
in my mind, there's the camp kitchen, there's the bunkhouse,
Yep.
there's the Mirth wood complex,
Yep.
there's the
The
the bluff side
Mm-hmm.
site, and there's also the yurt and the cedar grove.
And
There's actually
the,
two cedar groves. We only talked about one of them earlier today, but
There's a pond as well.
I think of that as part of the
That's true.
the
Mirth
Mirthwood complex.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of room to work with.
So pick one of those maybe and talk about a specific objective.
Let's think about Mirthwood.
Okay.
I think because it's what connects the kitchen to the bunkhouse.
Yep.
And the kitchen, I think, is a central point
Agree.
and will be indefinitely, as far as I see it. I think we can do a lot more than is there for outdoor convenience living. Like, it can be a much more comfortable place just to be, especially in the summer when it's not raining that much.
Yeah.
So I think seating areas, I think we can set up more than one campsite,
I agree.
like for a fire. I think that would be good and helpful for where we want to put. I think another good thing should be very clearly established locations for tents, and then there's a fireplace somewhere nearby. And I think certain areas pop into my head that I'm not going to specify, but I could just walk over and point at when we're there. Other than that, I'm sure the whole area needs to be raked, general cleanup. I feel like we can do more lighting wise as well. I think if we had something plugged in
Yeah.
eventually, by the end of the summer, that seems doable, at least from a vehicle. And then also that road that goes by the pond that we started could be at least leveled.
Yeah.
So that's one location.
So I think that's plenty. Like those are a few. I would characterize those as performance objectives. There's a few things in there that make perfect sense to me. Actually, all of them make a lot of sense to me. But I think particularizing and picking a few of those and focusing is really the way to help participants.
Yeah, the more specific we get, the easier it's going to be.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah.
Thank you for your very careful attention.